Hello bird people, how you doing? I hope you're birding around. In this series of videos I will talk about where to go birding on your first trip to Brazil. My intention is to help you decide the best areas for visiting. With continental dimensions, Brazil has 6 major biomes. The Amazon is in the north, Cerrado in central, Caatinga in the northeast, Pantanal in the central west, Atlantic rainforest on the coast, and the Pampa fields in the very south of Brazil, each one with its own flora and fauna. In other words, it is too big for just one birding trip. There is so much to see. Our national bird list is over a staggering 1900 species, and new ones are still being described by science, like the endangered and critically endangered Lear's macaw and Araripe manakin. Regarding to your first birding trip to Brazil, I recommend picking up 1 or 2 biomes to visit first. In this video, I will talk about the largest one. The almighty Amazon is the most famous Brazilian biome, as it is the largest tropical rainforest in the world, and 80% of it is in Brazil. It has a huge biodiversity, and the bird list surpasses 1,300 species. The place is huge. Its basin encompasses over 7 million square kilometers and includes territory belonging to 9 nations and more than 3,000 indigenous territories. To be honest, this is the most tricky biome to visit, due mainly to travel logistics. The roads are mostly in bad conditions, and if it's wet, well, forget about traveling by road. Using small planes is a quick way to get to the most preserved and secluded spots, but it can be quite expensive and scary. Yes, traveling hundreds of miles above unbroken forest in a small aircraft can be unnerving. The view is incredible though. Look at that. Can you imagine how much biodiversity lives down there? Fortunately, today there are several lodges that facilitate your visit as much as they can. Using a bit of roads and lots of boat trips, you can get to some really nice hot spots. Some of them can be quite fancy and comfortable, like Cristalino Jungle Lodge in the southern base of the Amazon in Brazil. I always say that Amazonia is the last phase of the birdwatching game. The forest is large and the trees are very tall. Sometimes there is absolutely nothing around, and you only hear cicadas singing hard in a very bird-promising habitat. Birds and other animals are simply elsewhere. And when you finally get the large mixed flocks passing, they can be quick and you may get only glimpses of a few species passing at all levels. Be prepared mentally, as it can be quite frustrating sometimes. Because of that, I strongly recommend visiting lodges that have canopy towers or lookouts to facilitate the observations. The view of the unbroken forest is breathtaking. From such cool structures, you have good chances of having spectacular views of macaws flying by. Maybe a harpy eagle if you get lucky, and several other very interesting birds, such as the cool-crested aracari, or the channel-billed toucan, and the orange-cheeked parrot. From the tower, it is much easier to spot birds like the brown-banded puffbird. The spangled and pompadour cotingas. They are so pretty. Look at this black-girdled barbet. What a lifer. From the ground, it is almost impossible to have good views of some nice targets such as the yellow-shouldered grosbeak. This very peculiar tanager has a diagnostic combination of pied plumage and red bill, hence the name, red-billed pied tanager. The white-browed purple tuft is tiny and sits on the very top of the tallest trees. The white-bellied parrots are always targets here. I love when we get lucky and have troops of monkeys passing by at eye level. It is so much fun to see them literally hanging and moving around. I must confess I get jealous of such freedom. Of course, there are birds at all levels of the forest. If you want to see tinamous, wood creepers, ant pitas and antbirds, you have to walk on the trails anyway. Which is nice, and you might get really lucky and find ant swarms full of cool birds. By the way, I recommend bringing insect repellent and anti-allergic pills in case something bites you. And always walk with someone else, especially a local guide that knows the trails. What really works well in the dry season are the bird pools. Small birds afraid of coming to drink on the river edges make the most of the water that we put to them. Manakins, antbirds, flycatchers and even tinamous give us incredible shows in the late afternoons. The boat rides are one of the best options for the warm afternoons. With the breeze on your face and comfortably sitting, you might get some really nice birds like the great black hawk, the sunbittern, agami heron, capped heron, and the green ibis. All kingfishers are found here, but pay attention to the coolest ones, the American pygmy, and the Greenland rufus. With luck, you might get some real treats, like giant otters feeding or red-throated piping ones on the rocks. The mysterious zigzag heron can be lurking in a bush. The shy Amazonian umbrella bird on top of the trees. Cute white-banded swallows close by, posing for your camera. Even the amazing king vulture can be seen from the boat. Parrots sometimes can be seen eating minerals on the banks. Look at these cute dusk-billed parrotlets. And how about those Madeira parakeets? We got lucky. The terrific sunsets from the boat are a common and memorable way to finish a birding day in the Amazon. Remember, guys, bird watching is the best way to reconnect with Mother Nature. The mental and physical benefits are rejuvenating, and by birding those areas, you are creating value to them and therefore helping their conservation. So keep birding. On the next video, I will talk about the only exclusive biome of Brazil, the white forest, here called Caatinga. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching.
Right here. Oh my goodness.